Welcome to Fear the Walking Dead with your host, myself, Denise Harris. Glad you could join me tonight. And of course, it's brought to you by KBLP, LLC, and King's Cannabiz. Don't go away. We'll be right back to discuss episodes 2 and 3.
be the 27th character. Step foot upon the scene like it's the end of an era. Me, I've never been better. New recruit, big suit. Inhale, smoke, and blow out nebulas. Just like the candles on the birthday cake. These lights going out, sun's running their mouth. Collapse their lungs like the universe does, so bring them out. I'm rapping till I ain't got nothing to rap about. Or end up like my people who sleeping up in the ground. But I know that the piecing up in the cloud is keeping me from giving this up or tapping out. So you ain't tripping me up from flapping your mouth. Through the conscious, living like the Loch Ness, riding Cerberus back, using my veins as a harness. I had to deal with the devil from way back that read, if he showed his fucking face, I'd be giving them hands. Really, what is sicker than man? Feeding from the garden till his ticker is jammed, hoping the legacy stands. But all he could do was write his initials with a stick in the sand. You could give him a hand, but the greatest thing you could do is live life without giving a damn, right? How many people will be peeping the song and like me are feeling like they didn't belong? Who hand-built the path that they're currently on by uprooting the truth and killing the long con? See, I gave up the goose and now I'm Gucci. Yeah, I gave up the juice and now I'm juicy. I had to balance my energy like allowance, keep my feet upon the ground while my head was in the heavens, brethren. That's the life of a go-getter. Make letters in my head, twisting up the poinsettia. I'm getting high off the nature of the rhyme. I'm a nation in my mind, I'm a major in my prime. I'm elated, rocking over drums like a native, just to feel a bit closer to my spaceship. Yeah, not everything is so bad inside my cadence. I can forget my brothers are Abel and Canaan. Can you speak my language? I flip the lingua and reach my hand out to those gripping me with hatred. I'll make a beacon with my fingers like Mavis. I know they know it, but damn it, they need to see this.
Alrighty, welcome to Fear the Walking Dead. Yeah, I was sorry I haven't been on with this. I wasn't sure if there were enough interested people, but we're gonna do it anyway. How about that? So we're gonna do episode 2, and it's called "The Hurt That Will Happen." It was pretty decent. It wasn't bad. What did you guys think of it if you watched it? The radioactive walkers. What do you? I just, I don't know about this Grace character. She's the only one who survived everybody. That was kind of strange. And how did she get this equipment? Was it already ready? I don't know. And radioactive walkers. Wow. And she still has. They found most of them. They still had have to go. But it's like, wow, really? Interesting side plot there, but I really don't think it was necessary. That's my opinion now. You might have thought so. And following the events of the dramatic plane crash and the mysterious militia force that kidnapped, Nancy Drew, the action doesn't slow down, and the mysteries, of course, of season 5 continue to unfold, which we will find out. But if Morgan makes another speech about helping people, I swear, I'm going to go, with Radioactive Mary out there. Is there a Rick Grimes connection? Of course there is, the connection between the mass militia group clad in black and Rick Grimes, of course. And of course, you have Al forever chasing her stories. Went back to the crash site and found the body of one of these guys. And of course, she searched his pocket. She knew something was up and found those wires and everything. But they were all featuring a 3-ring symbol. And that also appeared on TWD on the helicopter, which we all knew that. I don't know why some people didn't, but yeah. That whisk away Rick Grimes and Jadis, of course. And one would assume that this is either the exact same group of militiamen who kidnapped Al, or there's a definite connection there. Absolutely. And they did say, Ian Goldberg from Fear the Walking Dead, he's a co-showrunner, said, and I quote, "There will be one walker in particular. I have to be careful saying this around Scott Gimple. Let's just say this walker will open a universe of possibilities for the storytelling." So you connect the dots, where, you could assume that the militia walker Al, searched his pockets and investigated with, is the one they were talking about. But this week's episode, we don't see them at all. But who's stringing up those walker heads? That's kind of creepy. Kind of creepy in itself there, I think. That it's, of course, that shades of TWD too, of course. I don't know. It wasn't bad. I didn't think it was too bad. I love John's character, John and June. They make the show, I swear. Really, really good. I love those two. They are really awesome. So let's get started. The hurt that will happen. And Strand makes if you're watching this, I probably didn't make a tape just in case he dies. And then he puts down a tape labeled skid mark and walks to a fenced off survival camp. He meets a cat, and his name is Skid Mark. And then he is held by gunpoint by his old pal Daniel. Daniel makes a reappearance also. It was pretty cool to see him, though. And Daniel assumes, of course, he's the same old Victor. And given what happened at the dam, and following the information on Al's tapes, he finds Victor living with a cat named Skidmark in a fortified garage. He's got cars, he's got supplies, he's got a small plane that Victor needs to rescue his buddies after the plane crash. He said he was going to get it, and he did. Daniel says he inherited all this from the previous owner. Of course, knowing Daniel, your presumptions are probably accurate. The challenge is convincing him to help him after screwing him over too many times and shooting him in the face. I mean, really? I don't think he'd forget that. Of course, what did you guys think of those two? And Victor gets on the radio. He's trying to get a hold of the group there, and he's like, just get out of the way, let me do this. Daniel gets on there, and he's like, well, do you believe me now? And he's like, well, come on, follow me. But he's at least able to prove that he's telling the truth when they use the radio to get a hold of Luciana, who's waiting by the radio at the truck stop while the others are out looking for Al. Daniel, however, is like, come follow me. Nope, guess what? You're leaving. Goodbye. You're not getting the plane. He says every time Victor tries to help, he always ends up making things worse. So there you go. After all, trying to help his friends is something he mentioned to Daniel before the dam exploded. So Victor is walking away empty-handed, and Daniel is still a crap dad for not trying to help his daughter himself, right? Absolutely. Victor is left to wander back on the road to the SWAT van, but in his rage, he beats a walker to death with his bare hands. Is he radioactive? We don't know. And that could be more harmful than he realizes. Shouldn't beat a walker, no matter what. I mean, if you got a cut on your hand, you're going to turn. Anyway. Finding no trace of Al or what she was searching for at the crash site, Morgan and Alicia split off to search north. John and June head south. Morgan and Alicia find more cars blocking the road with radiation signs attached, but they see a vehicle nearby that's still warm. And she's like, you can kind of hear it ticking too. And they hear something coming out of the woods. Searching through the mist, Morgan comes across a bird box, of course, without Sandra Bullock, sorry. And you have two crows in there that are in a metal cage, just, making hellacious noises, and they're dangling from a tree. Two walkers are beneath it on a tarp, and of course they're drawn to the noises the crows are making. Morgan starts killing the two walkers, but he's caught off guard when someone throws a bolus and trips him up. His ankles get wrapped up. And here it is. It's a woman in a hazmat suit. Is she? I don't even know. It's kind of a side thing. I don't like that line of it at all. I think it's kind of crazy, but that's me. And it's a woman inside a hazmat suit. She points a gun at Morgan, tells him as politely as possible to take off his clothes, and he's like, yeah, no, I don't think so. Alicia tackles her to the ground. Disarmed, the woman reveals her name is Grace, and she fears Morgan may have been contaminated. And we learned that Grace was an operations manager at a close-by plant containing 2 pressurized water reactors. Excuse me. And when the outbreak began, she didn't acknowledge that the cities no longer needed the kind of energy they were providing. So she kept the workers inside. She figures they had supplies and food and everything they needed to last a while. And one of the reactors failed, killing her team and creating a new breed of radioactive walkers. The decimators are dangling from their necks and large boils growing out of their skulls. And if any human kills one, they could be exposed to radiation. And of course, her truck comes with a shower, and she helps decontaminate Morgan. But when she realizes he and Alicia were in the plane crash, she has to be taken back there to assess the risk. The crash, it turns out, tore down the fences Grace erected to keep the radioactive walkers from crossing over different territories. And they had a brief encounter with an oncoming herd, and that left Alicia shaken. What was kind of odd, you had the walkers in the mud and everything. She fell on her ass in the mud, but she got up and didn't look like her pants were dirty. Come on now. Anyway, frustrated with her inability to protect others, she's been taking out her aggression on the walkers. But these walkers fall in the mud, masking which ones are radioactive. She, of course, risks getting exposed herself. And, of course, Morgan later gives her one of his famous, I used to think I was only good at killing speeches. And it made it all better, at least for now. Yeah, like she backed up against that building and she fell right on her butt. She got up and didn't look like she got dirty. And when did that mud get so deep? I don't know. But anyway. Then we cut back to John and June. Aren't they cute? They're searching for Al, of course. John and June's truck breaks down south of the crash site. But they find evidence that the kids from the premiere episode may have gone this way. They're creepy kids. And then whenever there are lots of kids involved, look what happened to Michonne and TWD with these kids. Okay, now they've got a group of their own over here. Never trust the kids. Never trust the kids. Absolutely not. Anyway, They followed the road and come across a spot of land littered with bullet casings. And they're like, yes, there was a fight here for something. To claim the territory that seemingly took place. They find a cabin boarded up, and inside are walkers. Outside, having heard Alicia's warning over the walkie about radioactive walkers, they find a pile of ash, and bones are in there. You can see the bones. And Grace told Morgan and Alicia there were 63 more radioactive walkers out and about, and she needed to find them. Well, of course, we know that this pile of bodies were from about half of them, so that's a lot of them, really. But who burned them? Who did this? We don't know. When the group rendezvous at the cabin, Grace says the fire may kill the walkers, but unleashes the radioactive particles into the air. The dead inside the cabin had been exposed to said particles and died. Grace was still feeling guilty for her colleagues' lives, vows to find the rest of the dead on her own. Of course. But they all make a game plan to reconnect over the walkies if Grace spots out or they find more of the contaminated dead. And here she was exposed to the radiation. So. But that was the end of that about the radioactive walkers. So, I don't know where that was. I guess it was just kind of a cool side thing. Anyway, Luciana, back to her. She was stuck manning the radio at the truck stop. She was given John's pistol, but it doesn't seem to prove to be really useful for her. Number one, she's right-handed, and her arms wrapped up because she got that pole through her shoulder there. And she's trying to, I don't think she can handle the gun with her left hand. But June had her on a lot of drugs, too, and the good stuff that makes her want to talk about accordions. She always wanted to play the accordion. She couldn't feel her fingers. So it's like, okay. I guess she wanted to play the accordion. Kind of weird, but all right. We'll go with that. She's talking with Victor over the radio. She hears something outside. Now, why would you go out there? You're all by yourself here, and you're going to go out looking with an injured arm, number one. It's dark out, number two. You are by yourself. Don't be going out there. That was stupid. At first she finds nothing, but as she's talking with June and John over the walkie, she sees Walker, including one radioactive dead man, heading her way. She's really still whacked out on the drugs, and she can't even aim the weapon. So she starts running back to the door. She flees back inside and then promptly passes out. When she comes to, the others have returned, but the walkers aren't there anymore. The same people or person lurking in the periphery killed the dead and strung their chattering heads from a billboard outside the truck stop as a warning that whoever's out there knows where Morgan's group have been camping out. That had to take a while to do. I mean, as far as cutting off their heads and stringing them up there. But kids are pretty agile, I guess. I would assume it was them. Or is it? We don't know. And of course, there's always questions as John vows to find out the kids and get the heck out of there. Of course. What did you think of this episode? I thought it was kind of a side thing, and I don't know why they would put that in there unless there's something going to happen later about the radioactive walkers. And she has this truck. Of course, it comes with everything. I don't know. It was kind of strange, I thought. But of course, we know the connection with the helicopter and stuff. And I love the cat's name is Skidmark. I think that's great. But that whole episode was just kind of like, I don't know. It was all about these radioactive walkers, and then I don't know if we'll ever see them again. So what was the point? I honestly don't understand. But that's me. If you have any more information on that, let me know, because I don't know. So, take that for what it is. I don't know. That was just kind of a strange episode. And of course, you got Daniel. Will he change his mind? I don't know. He may live out his life alone in that garage place where he's at. And what's going to happen with Victor? I guess we'll have to wait for that too. Trying to think what else happened on there. Oh, and of course Morgan wants his stick back. She's like, nope, it's porous, it's contaminated. And also the woman, Grace, asked him to take his wedding ring off to scrub under it. And that didn't set well with Morgan. And he had Strand. He was definitely pleading with Daniel that people can change. And again, we have another kind of martyr type person, Grace. She's been trying to make out she couldn't keep the workers safe, so she's trying to make up for it. Okay, who isn't in this apocalypse? That was about it for that show, really. And of course, Daniel tells him if he shows up again, he'll kill him. What did you think about Daniel? Are you excited to have him back? When is Dwight going to show up? Let's find out. And episode 3, I really liked episode 3. I really, really did. I thought that was a better one than... I just don't... unless there's a connection with Strand beating up that walker barehanded, that there's going to be a connection here. I don't know. Okay, this is an interesting... I thought episode 3 was pretty good, pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty darn good, actually. I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, that's for sure. I really liked it. I can try and plugged in here. Yes, I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was a great episode, actually. Because I love John anyway. John Dory with an I-E, not Y. I thought it was a great episode. Humbug's Gulch. I put Humbug's Gulch. Sorry, autocorrect. It's Humbug's Gulch. Okay. John, Alicia, and Morgan are busy, and June. They kill a bunch of walker barriers in a montage that ends each time with them crossing off circles on a map. And it's like all these barriers are up, like all around them, the whole perimeter. And then John and June end up driving out a walking range, and they find another walker roadblock. They approach it, and right away, somebody's shooting at them. And it's like, wait, who's out there? It forces them to retreat in their van without their weapons, and they drive through the barrier. And here they come to this place that's straight out of Westworld. It was like, whoa, spaghetti Western time, right? Humbug Gulch, you look at this sign, and June's like, what? He goes, my old stomping grounds, and they can find guns there, gun and ammunition. Yeah, it's like straight out of Westworld, actually. It was a tourist attraction type thing. And while they're taking out walkers, John tells June this is a Western-themed tourist attraction, and he used to work at similar ones elsewhere. And she's like, brothel, really? Which I thought was cute. They hole up in one of the buildings, and he goes, yep, in through there, and up the stairs and into this room. We switch back to Alicia. Alicia accidentally makes contact with Dylan and the girl who are hiding from someone. They're like, they'll hear us. And she's like, what? I think they were referring to them. But anyway, the feed cuts off and Alicia decides they need to find them. And then we're back to John and Jude. They load up on supplies. And then there's windstorm kicking up. Which is odd because they're not that far from everybody else. And that's the only place a windstorm is. I don't know. Another thing, little details that kind of I catch it once in a while. All the windows in that town are fine. None of them are broke. How long has this been going on? Come on now. You think more windows. And the curtains, they were white. They would not be white. And I think they would have been kind of moth-eaten by now. But that's me. I see sometimes these little things, little details that bug me. I mean, they've been empty for how long now? And storms and everything, and dust storms, and I think they had a lot of tumbleweeds there, look like. I thought it was kind of funny, but anyway. But no windows were broken. It's funny how no windows ever get broken. What do I know, right? And just saying the curtains were white. So anyway, they load up on supplies and they decide, and John's like, we can make it out of here before the storm hits. So they can return to the van. A stranger approaches and starts shooting at them. And of course they retreat. And he shoots some of their tires out. They're hiding behind the car. And John gets up and boom, he clips the stranger with his gun. He runs over there and is held at gunpoint by, guess who? Dwight is back. Yay. Where is she? Dwight demands. He's like, where is she? It's like, whoa, who? He plays dumb as June pistol whips Dwight from behind, and out he goes. They tie him up in one of the buildings and rummage through his stuff, finding maps from other states and his honeymoon forever note from Sherry. Aww. June treats Dwight's gunshot wound as he finally comes to. And John's looking at his stuff, and Dwight yells at him to put down Sherry's notes. Don't touch those. Don't you touch those. And of course, okay, fine. He puts them down. But tells him that they just want to help him. And he asks about the Walker blockades, but doesn't get an answer. And we cut back to Alicia and Luciana. They hit something in the road. Boom, they crash into the gully there, into a ditch. They investigate and thought, look, all of a sudden we get stuffed up. So sorry. They investigate and find makeshift spikes laid out in the road, nails into wood. But what was kind of funny was that I left it in the road. Why would you not throw that out? You know Morgan's coming. So he should have thrown that into the bushes. They left it out there. Left it out in the road. But anyway, John and Jude, the walkers are trying to get in this place. A saloon, it looks like. And John introduces himself to Dwight. I'm John Dory with an I-E, not a Y. And Dwight just kind of looks at him. It was kind of funny. And then June goes, June, like the month, spelled the same. I thought that was kind of cute between them, They barricade the doors with furniture and they talk to Dwight. And Dwight suggests they take his car. Go ahead and go. Just leave me here. The car's back there. Just go ahead and go. I tried to kill you. Yeah, okay. That's all right. We'll save you anyway. But John says, nope, you're coming with us. And, of course, they introduce themselves, and Dwight tells them about his mission to find his wife. And Dwight, of course, laughs at their names, and John unties them. And they're talking about how else can we get out of here, and John says, probably the roof. The walkers break into the bars. John, June, and Dwight escape out the second floor window, and that roof was not real sturdy. It wasn't going to hold all of them. June and John are out there. Dwight comes out, and he jumps off the roof, and that forces John to follow him. And I don't know why he jumped. I don't know what he was thinking. But anyway, they pick off walkers as June starts the car. She makes it to the car, and they're just picking off the walkers. When they get close, Dwight runs back to another car, and he's in there, and they're like, John gets in the car, and June's like, where's Dwight? And they see him in that other car, and the walkers are all converging on him. And Dwight is rummaging through the car and through the glove box and everything. Dwight stares at a car registration with Sherry's Forever symbol on it and a message to go west on 30. John and June are trying to get a hold of me. They're like, pick up the walkie, talk to us. And so he radios John and June to explain how Sherry has been leaving him messages in her travels and how he thought he'd find the next one in the car. But there isn't one. That car registration he was looking at was a car in her name. But he thought that was her car that they were driving. He asked John where he found the car, and he says a campground. And June tells him no one was alive, but there's still hope. Yet, of course, there always is, right? I think Dwight, he was sitting in that car, he was about crying, and Dwight radios back. He's always assumed he's always been like 2 or 3 steps behind Sherry. And he's now realizing it might be a lost cause. I'm never going to find her. And he cocks his gun. I think he was ready to just end it. And June gets on the walkie and tries talking him out of killing himself. Saying Sherry is out there and that he can't do this to her. If she has hope, so should you. And, you think you don't deserve her. And June talks to him about that she left because she didn't think she deserved John. Oh, it was so cute. And John's just looking at her like, oh, really? Oh, it was so cute. Anyway, and she tells him Sherry is still out there. And that he can't do this to her. If she has hope, he should have it. Dwight lays the gun down and he's sobbing. He goes, well, anyway, I can't get back to you. And John says, leave that up to me. Leave that up to us, buddy. We switch back, as they always do. Morgan catches up with Alicia and Luciana on the road and urges Luciana to keep trying to contact the kids. She tries radioing them again, telling them about losing her mother and her brother and how she relates to them. It's not that she's been there, it's that she is there. So, they don't receive a response, so he's like, and there's Morgan just smirking to himself. And they're like, all right, let's go. Meanwhile, June and John commence Operation Save Dwight. They're shooting most of them. June's back by the car. She's picking them off. John shoots most of them. He's like, boom, boom, boom. It was great. And, of course, Dwight had an axe with him, which was great. He just hacked him away, but leaving Dwight to finally escape. So he barely makes it out before being tackled by a walker. And on the ground, John tells him to raise his axe. This was great. This was really great. And he says, facing me, raise the axe facing me. And John shoots it. He gets down on his knee and he aims and he shoots it, causing the bullets to split and ricochet, killing 3 walkers at once. Woohoo! And June comes over and he looks at him, and it's like, that's the San Antonio split, which was, that was just a great part, I thought it was great. That is great. And then that they used to call him Six Gun Sam when he did part of the theatric. Six Gun Sam, that's what he went by. It was kind of that was a good scene, but the dust storm didn't last too long, did it? But I thought it was odd that it was nowhere else but there. So I don't know. But anyway, that night, John tells Dwight the number from the car does not match the registration. Telling him Sherry could still be out there. Afterwards, and then you see John and June. John thanks June for talking Dwight off the ledge and confesses it made him reconsider how he is showing his love for her. Oh, they're so cute. And they're busy, talking and stuff, and all of a sudden a truck pulls up. It's Morgan, Alicia, and Luciana. And Morgan asks where the hell are they? Where the hell they are. Okay. Dwight walks up and says, and he hasn't noticed Dwight yet. Dwight's on the side there, and he's like, Morgan? And Morgan just kind of turns around. And he's like, you know each other? And Morgan's like, we come from the same place. Dwight explains his mission and tries apologizing to Morgan for what happened when he was with the Saviors. Morgan says, we can talk later. I know we're all trying to start over. He doesn't need to know now. We're all trying to start over. Alicia asks Dwight about the walker barricades. He goes, and he goes, come on, I'll show you. Dwight takes him to one. So they come to the one, the big one, and Dwight explains they're strung up. He walked as far as you could walk. They are strung through. You tried to go around them. There's just no way to go around them. And then all of a sudden they're ready to start shooting them. And Max radios Alicia. He says they're headed to where they took them before the truck stop, of course. So they're like, okay, let's go. On the way, they find a van stalled on the road, and in it they find Dylan crying in the back seat. There's blood everywhere, blood all over him. Alicia tries calming him and asks where Max and Annie are. He won't answer. Then nearby, we see somebody, wrapping intestines around the walkers. I guess who it is. Bloodthirsty Annie, apparently. And they have catcher's masks on and stuff, which is smart. I have to agree. But they're setting up the walker blockades. And Max says, we're going to make sure they never bother us again. And they go over about how Dylan won't bust the cover. He knows what to say. It's like, oh, crap. See about the creepy kids? See what I mean? Never, ever fails. Don't trust kids. Michonne finally didn't and got rid of them. So there you go. And then there's Annie. And she's like, you don't have to be afraid. And Max is like, I'm not afraid. And she kind of cuts one of the walkers loose. But anyway, she just stands in between them, bold as you can be. And wow, it takes off her catcher's mask. And it's like, there's definitely something wrong with this child. I don't know. Kind of the creepy kids. Judith is about the only one I've seen that has turned out decent. Of course, Rick's child. So there you go. But the rest of them, Lizzie, Sam, the last one, geez. I mean, they all, don't trust any of the kids. Never trust kids. So that kind of covers the. What did you think of Dwight's appearance? I thought it was pretty cool. Um, I did. I thought it was cool. That was a cool crossover, I thought, because he was following Sherry's notes through this whole thing. And he's been searching her for over a year, so. Which is, of course he has been. But it's like, wow. Morgan's look on his face was great. And during, when they were in the saloon, John brought up about his burnt face. So I don't know if he'll ever tell him or what'll happen here. I don't know. But those kids setting them up, are you kidding me? And they're falling for this. I don't think the kids had even entered their minds that they could do this. So, they are really playing them. And so, like I said, never trust the kids. That was pretty ingenious. The Walker barricades are all over. These kids are definitely been on their own for a while. So, very, very cool. That was a good episode, I thought. I like the way they introduced Dwight into Fear. So you get more and more crossovers, and I wonder if down the road the two shows are going to merge. It's possible. I mean, why not? Why not? I'm still, that second episode was just kind of, I don't know, unless it's going to come back somehow and bite him in the butt about the radioactive walkers. I don't know. I wasn't real happy with that episode. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Don't really know. But I had just like, what is this? Why is this even a thing? It was like a fill-in week or something. And they just happen to be in that area, of course, where 63 walkers are still out there. Well, less than half now. And she goes off on her own. It's like, okay. I just, I don't know. It's like they just stuck that in there. But we'll see. We shall see. But I love the Westworld thing. But the wind kind of got me because it was just there, like a dust storm. And which was cool, okay, but they had way too many tumbleweeds, I think, because it wasn't even really out west. It was just a tourist attraction type thing. So I don't know. That kind of bothered me, and the white curtains. It's like, okay, nice and white. Those should be like hanging off in tatters by now, I would have thought. But again, my opinion. Those kids though, wow, they're definitely smart, and they are playing them. I wonder what kind of trap they're setting up here. They're going to make sure they never bother them again. Why? I don't get it. Yeah, they've been doing fine on their own, but still, kind of creepy. But I love the San Antonio split. That was trick shot. And that's what he did at these shows. He was a trick shot artist. So, yeah, very cool. And he goes on, that's only the second time I've ever done that, which was very cool. So, John and June, of course, and Dwight, that was great. I really liked this episode because of them. It's a June over there, and, June, like the month, and it's spelled the same way. Just the levity there, and it was great. And then Dwight realizes, they are trying to help him. So, very, very cool. I wonder if he'll ever find Sherry. What do you guys think? Do you think Dwight will ever find poor Sherry? I don't know. So, I don't know. That kind of sums up the two episodes pretty much. Well, so we're looking forward. We'll be talking. What is tomorrow? Wednesday. I may do
and 3. Do the next episode tomorrow night, since that's where we are at. Just doing real quick and talk about that episode, which was interesting. These children, it just bugs me. In both shows, they're like, "Yep, don't bother with the kids. They'll try and kill you, or try and get you killed, or whatever's going on." Just crazy stuff. So, do you think Dwight will ever find Sherry? I don't know. I would like to think so, but I don't know if he really will. Do you think these shows eventually down the road will merge together? At least for a bit and then split off again? What do you think? It's a possibility. As soon as we know about the movies where we're going to see Rick, I will let you know. There's still no release date yet. It's supposed to be this year, so, keep tuned for that. Are these kids ever going to come around? Are they going to be able to do something with these kids or what? I don't know what they'll be up against next. Should be interesting. Trying to think what else. So, yep, Dwight's in the world now, the fear world. That was a great smooth transition they did. I thought the way they did it was great. And the clues he was talking about, that was very cool. Very cool. So, that wraps it up for that. I hope you enjoyed it. And any questions or you have any comments, let me know about fear. If you want to hear about fear, let me know. I think we'll finish out this first half of the season, and then I don't know if we'll do it. So let me know if you want to have it on or not. Let me know. We'll see. It seems like the fear following has really dropped off. I don't know if it's because it's the same old thing. I think Dwight kind of livened it up this episode, episode 3. Like I said, I thought it was a smooth transition for him. That was good the way they did it. And then oh my morning, Dwight. Whoa, we come from the same place. Yep, and of course John Dory. I think he's just him and June are just great. They have a good. I think those two characters really make the show. You have Luciana and Alicia. It's just boo-hoo. Get over it already. Come on, everybody else is. I get it. You lost your mom and your brother, but everybody's lost something and everybody's done bad things. So, move on. Let me know what you think. But let me know if you want Fear to stay on or not. May just finish up the next episodes, and that'll be it. I don't know. Looking forward to TWD in the fall. Ooh. I'm assuming that the first movie should be out before summer's end. So let's keep our fingers crossed. That would be so cool. I thought they were releasing it this summer, the first one. So let's hope they do. All right. Tomorrow we might just pick up and do the next episode real quick so we're all caught up. And then Thursday, join me for DWD, Decades with Denise. And I'm not sure, is Lolita back on Thursdays? You have to let me know what's going on with that. Friday, we have Hollywood Review with yours truly here. And later on that night, we have Freaks in the Basement with our own biggest freak, Chris Stevens. Saturday, join me for Encounters. We're going to do the Triangles of the World. Oh, wait a minute. Is that? I have to think. I keep getting confused because we did Planet B.O.B. last night. So, we did Ecto Encounters Saturday. And we did Planet B.O.B. So Encounters will be on Saturday. We're on every other week with these shows. So, with Ecto Encounters and Planet B period O period B period, which we did last night. So it will be about the different triangles of the world, and are they portals? We'll find out what people think. So there you go for that. And then later on Saturday, we have the Jam with Ike Diaz, Ike Dog. So join him for a party all night long. I think that wraps it up for tonight. Thanks for listening. Thanks for staying up for it. And we will talk to you probably tomorrow night, okay? Y'all have a great night. Peace out, y'all. Oh, before I forget, I wanted to tell you that I'm also playing some of the Walking Dead music tonight. Why not? We're going to cross over the music as well as the shows. So, hope you enjoy that. And I was trying to think if there was something else I wanted to bring up. If there is, I'll come back on. Okay. Thanks again for listening. Have a great night. Peace out, y'all.
You want to die?
No, I don't. But I will. It's gonna happen. And if me dying could stop this, if it can make things different for us, for you, for all those other kids, it'd be worth it. I mean, was this the plan? Was it supposed to be this way? Is this who you want it to be? All you need to do is survive tonight. This is my show. You said it. This is my plan. You're all gonna do it.
I know
I love you, darling. Good night. Good night, good night. May the stars shine bright. Good night, my darling. Good night, good night, good night. I'll push down the pillow with all of my might. Good night, good night. The stars are so bright, and I'll hold down the pillow with all of my might. Tomorrow, tomorrow will be